Good morning, Sea Dragons. This is Mr. Moran, your principal, with your morning announcements for Thursday, September 24th. I know you can hear my voice. You can't see me, so I'm trying something a little different today. But today I'd like to talk to you about the topic that you see on the screen. I guess the question for you is, what are you going to do to succeed? And the reason this is important to consider right now is because we're just finishing our progress report period, which means you'll be getting a grade sent home soon for all your courses that marks your progress. The quarter one grade is the grade that will go in your transcript, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. So, again, what are we talking about today? We're talking about what you're going to do to succeed. So just a reminder about our basic expectations, the Aptos Junior High School rubric for participation and engagement. And on the left of the table, you can see exceeds the standard, then just below that meets the standard, and below that you'll see needs improvement. This rubric is super important because it gives you some guidelines. It helps us to share with you what we think you need to do to be successful in distance learning. And you should either shoot to meet or exceed the standard. And I know all of you can meet and exceed the standard when it comes to attending your class sessions, completing assignments, posting comments in Google Classroom, or communicating with your teacher, and especially, if necessary, utilizing office hours. So, in our last time together, we talked about some of the ways that you'll get recognized for participating and engaging fully and just doing an all around good job through distance learning. So I just wanted to remind you of that again. Your teachers will recognize your effort and nominate you to be a Super Sea Dragon. We do this weekly, so make sure you're following us on Instagram and make sure you're checking your mail because odds are if you continue to meet or exceed that standard, you will be nominated to be a Super Sea Dragon, and you'll get a nice little gift in the mail, along with the recognition. So, this might be new to some of our seventh graders. It's definitely old to our eighth graders. One of the things we measure here is a GPA, or grade point average, a 2.0 current and cumulative grade point average is necessary to promote. And that's what you'll be doing at the end of your eighth grade year. In high school and in university, you graduate, but from eighth grade, you promote. So 2.0 current and cumulative to promote and participate in sports and in your activities. A 2.0 is the average of every class taken at Aptos Junior High School. So we're going to focus more on the end of the year activities, and we're hoping for sports as well. I know that currently we're, accessing school through distance learning, and some of those fun and exciting things about junior high, like sports and clubs, haven't quite gotten off the ground yet, or we might not have access to them. But it's still really important to focus on your academic performance and make sure you have a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. So if you're asking yourself, what is a 2.0 GPA? Let's see if we can answer that question. A 2.0 GPA to promote and to participate in sports and end of the year activities. That's our title. But hopefully you can see this little item here that tells you how to calculate that GPA. So what you can do is you take your grades, and you can see that a letter grade of an A is worth 4 points, a B is worth 3 points, a C is worth 2 points, a D is worth 1 point, and an F is worth 0 points. And just as a reminder, Sea Dragons, you are receiving letter grades during progress this quarter and this school year. The goal is to have 12 points, which would equal out or average out to a 2.0 or a C average. So hopefully this slide will help you figure out where you stand and what you need to do either to continue to improve or to excel. But again, just as a reminder, each grade in each class is worth so many points. A is worth the most points at 4. F is worth the least amount of points at a 0. But the goal is to have a 2.0 GPA. And even though we don't have sports or we're not able to offer some of those things that make junior high so fun and exciting, it's really important to understand that a 2.0 is considered a passing average. That means you're progressing and you're ready to continue to progress academically. So keep that in mind. I know all of you are capable of a 2.0 or greater, but again, that's your goal to shoot for. So end of the year activities typically include what we call play day. Play day is like a carnival. So if you're seventh grader coming from sixth grade, you can imagine kind of like a fall carnival. There's games, food booths, music, etc. And it's super fun, especially at the time of year. Play days typically right before, if you're an eighth grader, right before promotion, right before dance, etc. If you're a seventh grader, play days right before school's out and you're ready for a well-deserved, well-earned summer. Not sure if we're able to offer this coming year, but we definitely wanted to keep you informed about it and give you some goals to shoot for. For some of us, we need a target, and sometimes knowing that at the end of the year, if we can be back together, there's lots of fun planned. That would help give them a target and help keep them motivated to continue and to engage fully in distance learning. So, what tools do you have for success? Let's get back to these tools. You've got a weekly planner that you can use. You have office hours. You can schedule office hours by emailing or contacting your teachers to make sure they know that you want to take advantage of those office hours. You've got our basic platforms like Google Classroom and Google Meet. Of course, you have your parents or guardians, so please make sure that they're aware if you're struggling or having some challenges. And you've got some internal tools like perseverance, your ability to persevere, and also this sense of balance. So please balance perseverance and balance. We don't want you to give up. We don't want you to feel disheartened. If you're struggling, reach out to your teachers, reach out to your parent guardians. You can reach out to our social emotional counselors, and you can check in with your teachers during office hours. You can use your asynchronous time, but stick to it. Exhibit that perseverance. And then when you have time, downtime on the weekends, make sure you're doing things that keep you happy and keep you engaged. We talked a little bit about that in regards to wellness. So if you can use these tools and you're successful, let's get back to what other options you'll have. So again, this is kind of a throwback to what seems a long time ago. But again, for our eighth graders, there's the Great America trip at the end of the year. If you have a 2.0 or better and you've met the basic expectations, you get to visit Great America for the day, take off on a bus, and it's just so much fun to spend time together. Again, this is what we have done in the past. But gosh, if we can get back to school and we can have some semblance of normalcy, we'll do our best to make sure that we can offer end of the year activities as best we can to the fullest we can. Another example, and this was super important too, and it's I guess nostalgic going through these slides, but historically we did have an eighth grade dance at the end of the year for our eighth grade promotees. And again, you can see in each one of these slides, you got to have a 2.0 or better. There are some other expectations to be met here, but the main one is that academic success, shooting for a 2.0 or above. If you fall below a 2.0, then you get some special requests from us as a school. We'll start reaching out to you and start reaching out to your parents or guardians and offer additional support. But the main goal of today was just to check in with you and to make sure you understood how important it is for you to fully engage, to work hard, and to earn that 2.0. I wanted to tell you or explain to you what a 2.0 is, and then offer some examples of some of the external rewards for earning a 2.0. The internal or intrinsic rewards for earning a 2.0 or greater are just that sense of accomplishment, especially if it's challenging. If you're struggling right now and you're earning a 2.0 or better, it's a great feeling to know that you can engage in that productive struggle, continue to learn, and to not only meet the standard, but to excel. And just as a reminder, Sea Dragons, if we haven't said it to you enough, I want to remind you that we believe in you wholeheartedly. We believe that each and every one of you can learn at least a 2.0 and definitely greater. We want to do our best to support you. We want you to use the tools that you have. We'll use the tools that we have at our disposal. And together, we're going to make sure that we have a successful academic year. So please keep up the great work, Sea Dragons. Progress reports will be heading home sometime next week. And then I want to say October 13th, if I can remember correctly. Mid-October is the end of the first quarter, and that's when you'll get your first report card. So that's it for now, Sea Dragons. I want you to have a great morning. And if you can remember anything from this relatively long video, remember, you've got tools. Please use them. Make sure you work diligently to earn that 2.0 or greater. And if you can't remember how to figure out whether you have a 2.0 GPA or not, don't worry. This material will be made available to you for review. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.